All right, Mike. So today on the show, we are doing a movie with David Duchovny and a famous female lead. It came out about maybe 20, 25 years ago. Oh, yeah, you know it.
Oh, yeah.
We are
X-Files Fight the
Return to Me. Return to Me. That's the movie we're doing. Sorry. Did you think we were doing something else?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this is Forgotten Cinema. Each episode, we highlight a film that, for a variety of reasons, was forgotten by audiences. Whether it be a more popular movie came out at the same time, or the film simply didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. We'll discuss what we love about the movie, or perhaps don't love about it, but we always recommend you revisit it. You never know, as Mike says, you might find your own forgotten gem. If you enjoy listening and watching Forgotten Cinema, we would love to hear from you. We're obviously on YouTube. We're on all the podcast platforms. We're on all the social platforms, most of them, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
We're on Reddit.
It's my opening. Yeah, we're everywhere. And we would love to talk to you. We have a backlog of over 300 episodes that you can go back to for your listening and viewing pleasure. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. As you know, me and my wife were high school sweethearts, and she was running an ape exhibit at the zoo, and she was really trying to get funding to increase that ape exhibit. I was really excited for her. We were having a great time. It was one of the happiest moments of our life, and she got killed in a traffic accident, unfortunately. And it's okay. She was a donor. Her heart went to go save someone else's life. So there's that. But I've been having a hard time connecting since then. You know, I've been really down. My dog has been really depressed. It's all just very sad. But recently I think I found somebody.
Ooh.
I think she's very guarded. I feel like she's keeping something from me. I don't know what it is. It might be my wife's heart. I don't know. But I feel like she'll tell me eventually. And she's like really into like hanging out with old guys.
Nice. Real nice. That's right. We are doing the 2000 film Return to Me, starring Dave Duchovny, which we'll get into. So let's get into the facts and we'll get into our discussion and find out all about this film. Return to Me has a runtime of 115 minutes. Rated PG, a PG film, Butler. Production budget of $24 million. It came out on April 7th, 2000, which was a Friday. Its opening weekend, it did $7.8 million. Domestic take was 33. Worldwide take was, international take was 4. So for a worldwide take of $37 million, that makes sense. I think this film is more of a domestic film.
Yeah, it's definitely not an international. Although David Duchovny being in it.
Maybe.
Although, he's got a TV star, but I know the world loved X-Files, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yep. Production company was MGM. They also distributed it. They also had a production company of JTL Productions. So I said it came out on the 7th of April. Let's go back to March 31st of 2000. You had wide releases of The Road to El Dorado, The Skulls, High Fidelity, and Price of Glory. Big Skulls fan, Butler?
No, I watched it when I was younger. I don't remember liking it all that much, but I somebody was talking about it a few weeks ago, and I was kind of like, I gotta watch it again.
Skulls?
Yeah. The last one you said, Price of Glory?
Yeah.
I think it's the only one I don't know out of the ones you did.
I watched the trailer too for this thing, and I forgot. I can't,
a well-known movie.
I can't remember what it is. I don't think I didn't watch it at all, so I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So, but I saw The Skulls. I saw High Fidelity.
Yeah, High Fidelity obviously is.
I even think I saw Road to El Dorado, which
I saw that, but that was a cartoon movie, so of course.
But what was the movie that Brad Pitt did the animated voice? But it was because this one's one with Kevin Kline. What was the other one that Brad Pitt did that he was?
The one with the
searching for treasure
the
or something.
animated one?
Was that? Yeah. No, not Cool World. Wasn't Brad Pitt?
Was he?
Yeah, I thought so.
At the top of my head, I don't know.
Maybe this was the movie. I don't think so though, because
there's 2 leads in Road to El Dorado.
Yeah, but they say Kevin Kline. They don't even say Brad Pitt. So don't look it up. Who cares?
I'm on it.
This film, Return to Me, came out on April 7th, like I said. So it went up against in a wide release Rules of Engagement, Ready to Rumble.
Oh, a movie we did.
That's right. And Black and White. You also, the week after, the 14th, you had wide releases of 28 Days, Keeping the Faith, Where the Money Is, and American Psycho. So you saw American Psycho, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, not when it came out, but yes, I have seen American Psycho.
Where the Money Is with Paul Newman, Linda Fiorentino, and he's bank robber.
I think I've seen that, maybe not all the way through. I think I saw the last half on a movie channel one day. It was Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh.
I
and Road to El Dorado.
I don't know. There's an animated film where it's very similar to Road to El Dorado that Brad Pitt was a voice. And I don't know. It must have came out obviously a couple years, several years after.
Oh yeah, he did Sinbad. That's what you're thinking of.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, very similar art style too.
All right. So this film is directed by Bonnie Hunt. She has done a lot of her directings on TV. So Life with Bonnie and the show Amber Brown. She also has a screenplay story credit along with Don Lake. So this film was, just to kind of give you a little background of this film was the original script was called Distance Calls, and it was written by Andrew Stern and Samantha Goodman. And then when Bonnie Hunt came on with MGM and optioned it, Bonnie Hunt came on, signed on to do it. She took the script with Don Lake and they rewrote it. So that's what you have here is, that's why you get Return to Me. So Bonnie Hunt has done, again, Life with Bonnie, and she wrote for her show. She had a talk show probably 10 years after this film, like in the early 10s, called The Bonnie Hunt Show, obviously. Don Lake was part of that. He also wrote for a TV show, Maniac Mansion. Andrew Stern, who I say gets a story credit here, along with Samantha Goodman. Stern has done The Postcard Killings and Disconnect, and Samantha Goodman has done basically just a TV show called Nurses. Cinematographer was Laszlo Kovacs, who's done 5 Easy Pieces, Ghostbusters,
A movie we did, and I love.
Shattered,
A movie we did.
There you go. Composer was Nicholas Pike, who's done the TV version of The Shining, not the movie. The TV version with Steven Weber and the Croquet Mallet.
I like that one.
I do too.
Yeah.
Captain Rod, and he did this movie that I just want to say because I like the title, Chud 2, Bud the Chud. Edited by Garth Graven, who's done Turner and Hooch. I can't watch it again. Soap Dish, which is a movie coming up on the show.
Yes, I'm excited to watch that.
And Shoot to Kill.
A movie we did?
We did, remember?
Which one's Shoot to Kill?
Tom Berenger. We watched it on YouTube because it was.
Oh, yeah.
We had that huge discussion about it.
I like that movie too. I totally forgot what the title connects to.
It's a good movie. David Duchovny obviously is our lead as Bob Ruland, which is unfortunate. He's Bob the Builder in this film.
Yes, he is. I was like, if this came out 4 years after this movie, they wouldn't have called him Bob.
And it was in the like, oh yeah, he's the builder. I'm like, oh, he's Bob the Builder. Come on, that can't be right. Obviously from the TV show X-Files, Californication. He's also in the movie Evolution. Minnie Driver as Grace. She is the woman that receives the heart from his wife. She's in Circle of Friends. That's where I know her. That's where I first saw her. That's her very first film, I think, or the film that everyone saw her from. She's also nominated for an Oscar for Good Will Hunting. And more recently, she's in the TV show Speechless. Carroll O'Connor as Marty O'Reilly. He is Grace's grandfather, obviously from the TV show All in the Family. And
Archie Bunker.
That's right. And in The Heat of the Night, he's also in the movie Kelly's Heroes. Robert Loggia as Angelo. He is one of the friends of Marty and one of like the pseudo grandparent / parent of Grace.
She's like his kind of her uncle. They're related, but like not as directly.
Yep. He's obviously in Big, Independence Day. He's nominated for an Oscar for Jagged Edge, but he's also in Over the Top,
a movie we did. And
yes,
he's the bad guy in the John Candy movie with Eugene Levy that we did. Oh, shit.
Delirious?
No.
Oh, Armed and Dangerous.
Armed and Dangerous.
Yeah. Robert Loggia has been everywhere, and he was awesome.
Yeah,
unfortunately, obviously, he's no longer with us. This is actually, I should go back. This is Carroll O'Connor's last film before he passed away as well. So it was really cool to see them together in this movie. You also had Bonnie Hunt in here as Megan. I guess she's Grace's friend or
I felt like she was a relative because she's always hanging out with the other guys.
They didn't
go into it. Yeah. Well, no, because maybe her sister, because I think she says that Jim Belushi's character is her brother-in-law. I think she says that.
Okay, maybe. But yeah.
Okay.
So she's in Jumanji, Jerry Maguire, The Green Mile. Jim Belushi, obviously, as Butler says, Joe plays Megan's husband. I actually think Bonnie Hunt and Jim Belushi are awesome together.
They did such a good. That's my main note.
Awesome.
Is I would watch a movie with the two of them together. Yes.
Jim Belushi's in Red Heat, K9, The Principal, and he's actually in the upcoming movie, which is probably out already because this episode's coming out in January, February.
I think February. Yeah.
So he was in Song Sung Blue, the one with Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do in that. These are the type of roles that Jim Belushi's in that I really think he's great.
He does a great job in these roles. Yeah.
David Alan Grier is Charlie, who he's Bob's friend. He's the vet at the zoo. Mm-hmm. He's also was friends with Bob's wife. He's in the obviously TV show Living Color, the movie Blank Man that Butler wants to do so bad. And he's also in the new TV show St. Dennis Medical, if anyone knows that.
And he's in Jumanji with Bonnie Hunt.
He is indeed in Jumanji.
Which is probably how he got this role. Bonnie Hunt.
I actually used to watch Life with Bonnie, the TV show, and he was in that.
Oh, okay.
So this is pretty much like I forgot that this was a Bonnie Hunt production. I forgot that she directed this.
I didn't know she wrote and directed. Yeah.
I
was like, oh, that's cool.
So, but like, if you've seen a lot of the other stuff, she does a lot of voices now for animated movies. She's in the new Zootopia, I believe. She was obviously in Cars. So, but like, there are the same group of people that she works with. Like Don Lake, I think, is a writing partner. Don Lake, the writer. He was the guy in the movie who has the hair plugs.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've seen him in other things before. Yeah,
he's
yeah.
He's in that Space Force show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in a bunch of stuff.
Pull it. It's fine. It's fine. You want to pull my hair? I only pull woman's hair. This is woman's hair.
Jolie Richardson, rounded out, plays the wife that passes away, Elizabeth. She's in the TV show Nip Tuck and Event Horizon.
A movie we did.
There you go. And then there's a couple other people that you remember, like the guys that are the friends of Marty and Angelo. Emmett, Eddie Jones, he's in Sneakers.
A movie we did.
And The Terminal. And then William Bronder plays Wally. He's in Stand By Me. He's the junkyard guy. He's the guy that owns Choppers in Stand By Me.
And he's Paul Kent and
yes, there you go.
Lois and Clark.
There you go.
That's how I know.
Oh, there you go. And that's it. And I mean, like I said, we mentioned everyone else, so we can get to them later on. I put this on the list, right?
Oh, I'd never seen this before.
All right. So then hit us. Let's go.
So when you described this movie to me, and I was watching this because I had a busy week. So I was like, I got to watch this during dinner time. So I was like, all right. So Lisa's going to be up for at least a little bit of this movie. So I'm like, all right, let me see it. You would describe the movie to me. I'm like, oh, okay, let me watch this movie. I don't know why I feels putting such a depressing movie on. And then I go and I click on Amazon. I'm like, please be a comedy at least. I click on it and it says romance drama on Amazon Prime. And I was like, oh, dear God. I'm reading the description. I mean, you had already told me kind of what happened. I'm like,
it's no Cold Mountain.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be so depressing. That's the thing is like, how many depressing movies did we put in a row? And then like, I see the trailer and I'm like, you're like, I'm like, oh, okay. So it's just a comedy. It's not a drama. I really like this movie. It is really charming. It doesn't really, I mean, it does fall into a couple cliches, but it glosses over a lot of the more cliched parts that you would find in a lot of other movies like this.
Okay.
I found it very enjoyable. It's kind of like, it's very much like popcorny romance. It doesn't really get that very deep, but I think all the performances are really solid. I think that the story is just nice. It's you're rooting for these two characters. It's very easy to root for them. I think it was a very enjoyable comedy, and it handled the subject matter really well to where it's like that's the plot, but the movie is not about the sadness involved in the situation, but in the connection between the two people and the comedy and what's going on in their lives and the romance. And I thought they did a really good job of this film. So I was very happy to watch it. And I like watching David Duchovny not be Fox Mulder.
Yeah.
Which, you know, he's not Fox Mulder in much of what he does. Maybe Aquarius and the cop movie show, which should have lasted longer. Californication, he's kind of an ass. Aquarius.
Oh, was that?
Yeah. And then there was the one where he was the doctor, this great Scott doctor who's like working with the mob or whatever. I've watched it. I barely remember it, but you know, he's mostly doesn't play those characters, but I always ever think of him as Fox Mulder. So it's nice when he plays somebody who doesn't have like these big speeches that go over the scene as they go and stuff. It was nice to see him as an actual person, and he cries, which is
yes,
cries.
Yeah, I know.
But no, I really liked the film. It was very enjoyable. I'm very happy to have watched it.
Good for you.
So when you were like, you better like this film, I really like it. I do really like this movie.
It's a really good movie. And to your point, the beginning of the film, you could very easily fall into a trap of just showing the stuff that's happened with Bob and his wife passing, and if you stay on that, it can be very like depressing.
Right. Yeah.
But the fact that they interconnected that with Grace's story, like, you know, obviously his wife dies, passes away, but then the heart's going to Grace. Grace is going to get a heart. Now they're waiting. So it was kind of good to see both sides of it. So you don't kind of get locked into just, oh my God, this is so sad. But it really presents itself well, because yes, this is in one moment, it's very sad that this is happening, but in the other moment, it's someone's getting a chance.
So it's very
second life.
They do a good job with that.
Yeah.
And they don't show the accident,
which I thought was interesting. Why we did that? Why they didn't do anything,
because I'm waiting for it. I think the audience is waiting for it and they don't want to see it.
Sure.
So I think it was smart to be like, you know she's gonna die. You bought tickets to this movie. You know what the plot is.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip it. You hear the rain outside before
Yes.
the party. So you're like, oh,
Yes.
okay, they're gonna get in an accident
Yes.
now. And I'm just like, let's go, let's kill her. And then boom, they're in the hospital and they're being rushed.
Yes.
Oh, there's an accident. The passenger side got hit. And it's like, boom, okay, done.
Yeah.
And I like that because I'm sitting there telling us, all right, now we're gonna die. 5 seconds. We're 2 scenes. Next scene, here we go. And we don't get it. And I was very happy about that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't think you need it. Did you think they needed it?
I just was interested that they didn't show
They didn't
it.
do
I
it,
mean,
yeah.
whether it was a choice of we don't have the money for that, or they just didn't want to. That's not really important to the stories, which I guess you can make that claim. So yeah. So.
Yeah. I also like that in Grace's story, you get comedy. Her and Bonnie
Yes.
Hunt are joking around.
Yeah.
She's in the hospital bed,
Mhm.
which is what you would do.
Yeah, but that's also
you're gonna
Bonnie Hunt.
focus on the sadness.
That's Bonnie
Yeah.
Hunt's style and sensibility. Like, I mean, the way she was the way she is in a lot of things.
Yeah. So while you're waiting for David Duchovny's wife to die in the one storyline, at least you get some, and like they're having a perfect night, which of course is why she's got to die that night.
Yeah.
And so Grace's storyline, she's dying, but they're telling jokes in the hospital bed.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
I like that.
We talked about this obviously in the beginning of the facts. I think that the Carol, Marty, and Angela, like Carol O'Connor, and like that whole group of the restaurant aspect, and then Bonnie Hunt's character and her husband, their family, Megan and Joe. Like there are two. It's almost like they're not. I don't want to call them set pieces, but there's 2 separate locations or 2 separate groups of people, even though they're connected. That Grace bounces back and forth from, and each have their own different type of not just humor, but different type of relationship with her and stuff like that. And I think that's nice in the movie that they're separate. They're not all blended together. They do blend together obviously towards the end because they do all know each other, but you never really see Megan or Joe in the restaurant till the very end of the film. You do get that moment when they're bowling together.
Yep.
But you never really see like them, which I think is an interesting way to present that, but also it works really well.
Yeah, because you don't get stuck in one place for too long.
Right.
Yeah, and I think you're right about it being different comedy styles because, Marty and all the old guys, they're doing the same conversations, the same shtick,
Right.
which is funny, but it's nice to break it up because then you're like, all right, and now you're with David Alan Grier and David Duchovny's character, and then you're with like Bonnie Hunt and Jim Belushi, and you get like all those are different comedy bits, all the different kind of comedy, which really works.
We don't really talk about this part in a lot because we've done rom-coms before, but there's always those like in this movie where Bob goes to O'Reilly's and he comes out and he's set up with this blind date kind of thing. And the woman is always presented as
the worst.
Yeah, but not even her attitude was like that was one thing.
Right.
But I'm like her looks compared to Minnie Driver's looks.
Oh yeah.
Like, how do you like? This may be me being naive, and I know I'm an older person, but like, how do you cast that and say, listen, we need you to be less than, like, you need to not look good, or you
need to be uglier than Minnie Driver,
right? But it's such a weird thing to do in a movie. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair, like she's laughing all the time. She's like presenting herself.
She's very
uglier.
exaggerated.
She's got a
Yeah.
dumb haircut.
Oh no, I'm not saying she's the actress is unattractive. Agreed.
Yeah, I think they're making her more unattractive
Yes,
than
yeah,
that. Yeah. And her voice, and obviously her shrill laugh.
Yes.
And the fact that she's got to be like as she's laughing,
Yeah.
and he's like,
like she's like like you're at a corporate meeting and she's just overdoing
like,
it.
oh my god,
Totally. Like that's absolutely part of that. And and then obviously she's rude to
oh my god, she's the worst. That's the thing is like that was like like David Alan Grier is supposed to be his friend. How would his friend set him up with a person that obnoxious?
But that's the thing. Like, is he his friend or is he her work friend? His past wife's work friend. And now he's friends with him. Like I don't know that friendship well.
Yeah, it seems like they got roped together.
Yeah.
Kind of like, but it's kind of like what's the other really sad movie? Dakota Johnson and Jason Segel, where she's dying and Jason Segel is her friend.
Right.
But then he becomes friends. We did it for Now Renting.
What the hell was the name of that?
It's a really good movie. Incredibly sad.
Yes. What the hell wasn't
I can't
changes something?
I don't remember. But
friggin' knows.
they're very similar in the plot of that, where he's more the wife's friend, but then he kind of just becomes the family friend just because.
What did you think of the opening shot, which was clearly a helicopter shot because we're in 2000? It's not a drone shot. What did you think of that shot?
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like the overextended opening sequences anymore. It was something that was in the 90s and 2000s, which is fine, and even the 80s.
Yeah, but those have come back with drones.
Yeah, now I'm like, but I do think it establishes the place, and he builds the building, so you're flying over the building
But
he builds.
just to picture that setup though, because that is the entire that's the entire opening
talking,
credits.
he
comes down and then he looks up.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
the fact that he comes down and does the line is really cool. The fact that he's actually there and climbs down a ladder.
Yeah,
I was like, good for you, David Duchovny. You didn't puss out and be like, I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna stand in one place. Like I do appreciate that, and I appreciate that it establishes setting, because immediately you see the lake. Cause like New York City, you just need one building and you're good.
Yeah.
Chicago, you need a little bit more. I need to see the lakes or whatever you call that. And I'd be like, all right, this is Chicago.
Chicago definitely has a feel. We talk all the time about films. We talked about it with The Town, with Boston. We talk a lot
Boston,
about
New
times
York,
with New York
LA.
City. We talk that sometimes these movies, The Town, the city and the town are another character.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, you can. I don't know why, but I can definitely tell when it's Chicago.
Yeah. I think the lakes help. In fact, I think numerous years of ER also help as well, because that takes place in Chicago. That's how I now, like, growing up watching ER, I'm like, oh, that's Chicago. Like that Dark Knight, when they zoom in on Dark Knight when they could film in Chicago, I'm just like, that's stuff Gotham.
Well, like
that's
when she's racing the bikes with them, and she comes around, and they're on like that, and they're on that like street that's kind of like a little residential, but it's still in the city limits. I saw that, I'm like, that's definitely not New York. Like I knew, like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Maybe it's just we've seen so much. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
We talked about, and we could talk about it a little bit more, but we talked about it in we expound on your note where we talked about how Bonnie Hunt and Jim Belushi are great together.
They are one of the best parts of this film. Yeah. Absolutely. The scene where she's talking about like finding the one or the perfect man, and then Jim Belushi comes in and takes off his shirt and he's drinking a beer. You're like, honey, you better take your shirt back on before you ruin yourself for men or any other men for Grace here. And then he starts doing his dance. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, it's so good. Their relationship is perfect. Where they're arguing with each other with the puzzle pieces, and then or they're rushing because they can have sex finally. It's like, let's go. No, hurry up. And then the kid cries. And he's like, no, you can't have water. Go to bed. Get up to bed or I'll murder you all. I'm killing you to sleep.
And they have a good back and forth. When you first meet him, he's complaining about the piano. He's like, come on. He's like, honey. She's like, what? I'm not playing it. Oh. Like that. Like, go tell him yourself. Like that stuff. I really like when the priest shows up.
And he's still wearing the thing. Yeah. Not ready to take it off.
It's like, come on. And they're trying to set him up with Grace and
ex-priest.
Yeah,
he's not in there
when he tells what's her face? I can't remember her name. I keep wanting to say Bonnie. It's not Megan. When he tells his wife Megan, like, oh, it's father's son. So he's a priest. Like, no, former priest. Yeah,
gave it up. Then she hasn't dated. He clearly hasn't dated.
But if you noticed, he's at the end when they got married. He's the priest that married.
Is he? I did not notice that. Yeah. That's awesome.
And did you notice that she's pregnant? Megan's pregnant as well in that scene.
Oh no, I did not. Really?
Yeah.
So like a fourth kid?
Seventh. They had six kids. Yeah. I counted them when they were walking into the zoo. I'm like, oh my God, that's 6 kids. Which is interesting because she's also in Cheaper by the Dozen. And they have 12 kids.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
And that's not a her vehicle, but I'm like, so is this a thing? Like, you just really like?
We have a mom with a lot of kids. Who do we cast? Well, Bonnie Hunt, obviously. Come on.
Cheaper by the Dozen, man. I could not picture 12 kids. I can't even picture more than 3. But like, yeah, that's just chaos. The scene when Bob takes Grace up onto the building to look over the panoramic of Chicago. No, but was that real? Because the note
makes it seem real. I read that same note. There's no way. Like, no cars are moving. Nothing's going on.
No, there is.
Do you see cars?
I do, but it still looks fake.
It looks like a matte painting. With a little bit of model.
Or it looks like and I don't think they had enough money to build like a little
mini Chicago.
Yes,
but I figure a lot of studios must have some of that stuff just ready to go. Like, hey, we have a little bit of Chicago. We got a little bit of New York.
Because then
I saw that note and I was like,
then I was thinking, okay, if you're really up there, that's got to be really windy. So
that's true too. Yeah.
And not
her hair's not really blowing.
Right. They're not moving. Like, so I was really not, I was just like, I need to know more about this scene because I really don't think they were there. And if they were, that's great. But that scene.
No wind in the Windy City. Come on.
Zing. Did you ever see the movie Last Christmas?
Which was that?
With Henry Golding and Emilia Clarke. So
no, I know about the movie, but I didn't see it.
Kind of premise. She's obviously needs a heart transplant. She gets a heart transplant, and then she meets this guy, Henry Golding. But then you find out like he's the ghost of the heart that is in her is his heart.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's helping her kind of like she's a
Get back she's a curmudgeon
in
at
the
first.
movie. She's like she hates people. She's miserable and stuff like that. So he's trying to help her. So that's kind of similar to this film, but it's a little bit more melodramatic. Maybe I don't know. It's not. It doesn't have the comedy. It has some comedy elements, but not like this film.
Right, and in that it's about changing her. Bob doesn't really need changing. He needs saving, I guess. He doesn't really need saving. He needs that connection.
He needs to move on. He needs to move on. It's not like they never really kind of broached the subject that this heart is, I'm in love with you, but but my wife passed, but she brought me to you. Like they never really talk about that. It's just almost like a coincidence.
Well, he does do the return. He does say return to me.
Yeah, he does.
That line at the end. But it is always more of a coincidence. They do kind of at first. They have that little flash of his Elizabeth, his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And like shows her as he meets Grace.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's her ghost being like here, but they don't go back to it.
Right.
So I would say that's a little wonky. Like why show it the one time and then not go back to it?
And they don't do anything. They don't really do anything with the dog because in the beginning of the movie, the dog always waits for Elizabeth to come home before it gets fed or whatever. And then obviously when she passes, the dog still waits, won't leave the door, won't leave the area. And that's obviously a sad scene and stuff like that. They don't really do something where she first meets the dog or Grace first meets the dog and the dog like welcomes him. But you do get the sense like she's on the couch and the dog's with Grace.
You never get the big scene. They didn't make a big deal out of it, which is probably a deleted scene, I would imagine.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of moments in this movie where they don't go too far in terms of the melodrama. That it's there, but it doesn't hit you over the head.
Right.
I mean, the whole idea of the grandfather and his friends kind of taking care of Grace, making sure she's okay. That's when you're watching it and it's presented. It's loving. It's cute. They're really it's great, but they don't really go too far. They even have the stuff with Wally and the older waitress where like she likes him and he's
just oblivious to it. Yeah,
that's there.
Real Prince Charming right there.
But it's not. Yeah, that's there. But it's not. It's given the appropriate amount of screen time that's needed. It doesn't go too far.
Right.
Like I don't need to see a scene where they're walking home together and he like, oh, I really love you.
Yeah, they just finally get them walking out the door and it's like, okay, you're done. Which then they come right back inside when Bob comes
and then
in.
they get married at the end, which is fine. Like that's all I need. And I think that the movie does a good job of juggling the support, like what supporting characters and what we need to see them doing, how that works, right? And with our leads, because like all the stuff with Joe and Megan is really in service of Grace and her being there. We don't, how it helps her, and then you kind of see that life, and you see a glimpse of what that life's like. And even with Charlie, which is Bob's friend, David Allen Greer's character, like you kind of see who Charlie is, which is like a complete
opposite of
not
Bob,
opposite,
kinda.
but just like at the other end of the spectrum in terms of somebody who's always constantly dating a serial dater and he's trying to help Bob get out there. It's not what Bob wants. It's not that Bob doesn't want to meet somebody. He just doesn't want to. I don't know. It's like he just doesn't want to do what Charlie does.
Bob talks about like he was with Elizabeth when he was 15. Right. They got married when they were 20. He doesn't really know how to date. He doesn't want that. He wants what he had.
Right.
Which is just finding like the one right away.
Yes.
And not doing like the dating scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I got some reviews for you, Butler.
What do you got?
Do you want the good ones or the bad ones?
Bring me the bad ones first. Make me mad.
Jay Carr from the Boston Globe. Quote, ultimately too bland and safe. I'm not sure what you want to do here in terms of not making it safe. Like, what do you want?
I like that it's safe because I think if you go unsafe, what you're talking about is going too melodramatic. Yeah. And too depressing, which that's not what this movie's trying to be. You can't go
too depressing. Yeah.
This is a rom-com. This is not a drama movie. It happens to have a sad premise, like his wife died, but also, like you said, also a happy premise because Grace got to live.
This is a rom-com too. At the end of 2000s, the end of the 90s, where like the rom-coms were strong and they were really good, and then they've disappeared. Like they're there once in a while. You kind of see one pop up, but there is not like it used to be.
I feel like now they're safe. Now they're bland. And now they're on TV.
You mean like Hallmark?
I mean, Hallmark's one of them, but yeah.
Yeah, I think those are boiled down versions of rom-coms, and they're
Well, that's what I think all you get
like,
now.
you know,
is
you're not
just
getting
get
My Best Friend's Wedding. You've got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
You're not getting all those type. I mean, Pretty Woman, I guess, to an extent, but you're not getting all those types of.
They're laying down index cards that have the plot points and shuffling them around.
I mean, I know you had the one with Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney, which had to be you or something like that, or it could be you, or I don't know.
Right.
You had that one.
That was TV too.
Yeah, I mean, The Materialist is kind of a rom-com, but it's got a more cynical edge to it, which I really liked, and I know
you told me I gotta watch it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's not really like something like this type of film, and I know there's supposed to be one. I know there's a play on Broadway or coming on Broadway that's supposed to be really reminiscent of 90s rom-coms, and I can't remember the name of it. But I read something about that. So I think they're kind of coming back, but still, this is towards the end of that big boon of these type of films. So I think something like maybe Jay Carr's thing here about Ultimately Too Bland and Safe, maybe that's kind of like his fingers on the pulse of like, you know, what
all the other ones around
now. Yeah, they don't want this anymore. I don't know.
I don't think it's bland though.
No, I agree. Lisa Swartzbaum from EW says the alluringly deadpan Duchovny can make no headway with Driver. So she is saying that there is no chemistry between the two of them.
I don't think there's no chemistry. I think they just get together really fast.
Sure.
Not that there's no chemistry. I mean, I don't know. I think they both play their roles really well.
How long do you think are they together? Because he never sees, they obviously clearly don't get physical in terms of beyond kissing and necking, as the kids say.
Right.
So they clearly don't go beyond that. How long are they together?
It seems like they're almost together a year.
Yes.
Because he almost finishes the thing.
But yeah, exactly. But I think it's supposed to be months.
It seems more like almost a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds interesting.
I thought the same thing. I was like, so no, I get playing it safe, but at some point she's got to tell him like, this is why. That part I found a little hard to believe. I was just like, you're really just not pushing it at all.
You're getting a Three's Company thing here, like, you know, like the lying and digging yourself a hole. That's comedic for us because how are you going to get yourself out of this kind of thing? So, you know, I'm not going to tell him and whatnot. So yeah, you get like, but that's almost a staple now in like many of these comedies, like just, but that was the whole thing in Three's Company was like, you know, like it's just the lies upon lies.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you one because you never agree with this guy. Roger Ebert. So innocent, so naive, so sweet and sincere that you must leave your cynicism at the door and choose another movie.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. Yeah,
you and Roger Ebert agreeing. So Mike, I guess, you know, you have some kind of street cred with all the movies that you've watched. Who are you going to recommend this to?
If you like romantic comedies, this is a really good one. I think that's what I'd recommend it to. I mean, if you're so cynical that you're just like, nah, can't watch romance movies, bro. only watch war movies, action movies, and Avengers. That's what I watch. Then yeah, no.
I don't know who you're referencing.
A lot of people nowadays. But I think if you like any kind of like romantic comedies, I think this is a really good one to watch. I think don't be put off by the premise. I think if you go on Amazon and you see drama, romance, and you read the description without watching the trailer, you're gonna be like, oh no, thank you, no thank. That is gonna bring me down. That is a mislabeled film right there. I think it is a comedy, romance, obviously, and I think there's a lot for everybody to enjoy. It's different. You get to see David Duchovny play a role he doesn't usually get to play. You get to see Minnie Driver and stuff. I like Minnie Driver. I don't think she was.
Did you ever see Circle of Friends?
Enough stuff. I don't believe so.
Circle of Friends is she's a little overweight in this movie, and that's the whole point of the movie. Like people that she gets made fun of because of her weight, and she's like doesn't fit in, and she tries to find love. It's really good. It's an Irish film. It's a really good film. Anyways, but what age range? Because I don't think this. I know you're saying like anybody likes rom-coms, but like I don't know if somebody who is younger, early 20s, would really kind of connect with this film.
Well, no, because life is different now.
Sure.
It's like no cell phones. They're not on Tinder. There's like, why wouldn't you just be on Tinder? Swipe right, bro. It's like, yeah, I guess in that way. I don't know. Like, I don't know the dating scene now.
I'm sure you don't, Mike.
I've never been in the game.
You got no game.
I probably not.
We'd have to ask Elise if you have game. She'd only want to know.
And she'd be like, I don't know either. Yeah, I mean, I assume The Materialist probably deals with a lot of more modern issues and stuff like that, and in the dating world.
Well, I'm also what's the generation where you're stopping at? Where
I guess
mine. So late 30s.
I mean, I think obviously we're also like a lot of people.
30s.
A lot of people in the late 30s and in 30s in general know Tinder and Bumble or whatever the hell else there is. But I know that like obviously my generation's in that as well, but also remembers the other times I had grown up watching movies of people dating without that crap. So I would assume that anybody in those generations, your generation, boomers as well, they'd probably get some out of this movie. I don't know if I could recommend this to a younger person, and they might like it, but I don't know if they would connect to it as much.
Well, they're not going to know who Carroll O'Connor
is.
They're not going to know about Archie Bunker. They're not going to know about Robert Loggia.
Oh, in terms of the characters? But everyone's got those kind of grandpas and uncles and stuff, older family members. But yeah, I think just in terms of how the dating is perceived and how the romance goes about, I think is from a different time. Right.
I mean, like if you just go back to this movie's 25 years old. So let's say you go back to 2000. This is like us in 2000 talking about a romantic comedy from 1975. So, you know what I mean? It's like that.
I hate doing that, but yes, that's true.
No, but I get that, but that's really like the difference.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you don't think about it, but there are people that are like in their mid 20s right now that have no idea about this film. So
I made that kind of connection with Elise. I was like, because Home Alone is celebrating its like 33rd anniversary or something like that. And I was like, if Home Alone, like if it came out now, or back then, if we were like, oh, so it's anything's 33rd, it would come out and have come out in 1955. And Elise was like, stop, please don't. No.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, but
that's the same thing.
Home Alone's always on TV, so and
everybody grows up, and it's about a kid, so he doesn't have all that stuff. Yeah. It would be the same, yeah. But I just mean like your connection of like tying it into the 70s. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's looking back a generation.
So then, is that why it's forgotten?
Yeah, I think David Duchovny is also really just only known for Fox Mulder. Aww. It's a role that really just kind of took him over, good or bad. Like I would kill to have a role that became the only thing people know me for, but at least you'd be known, and it's something that'll live with you forever. So I don't think David Duchovny that really harbors any resentment toward it.
Do you think?
I think that hurts.
Do you think that if he never came back, if they never did the what's the word I'm looking for, revival?
Oh, the revival
of the show, and they never came back, and it would still be like that because he did Californication for a while.
I still think it would be like that. I mean, I know so. Californication was well received and people watched it a little bit,
but it's a Showtime movie.
Yeah, exactly. Showtime audiences watched it. Like he didn't need as big an audience. I think I think the situation would still be the same. I don't think the revival hurt it any more than it are. Like he's just Fox Mulder, and I know he's got a certain acting style that not everybody really likes as well. But I think he does a good job, and I think it's kind of like a Goldblum situation. Like he's himself, and it's I find it charming, but maybe other people wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I mean, he's I think he's my age. I think he's a little older than me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's always a chance that he'll be back in some bunch of things.
10 years older than you, I believe.
Is he in his 60s?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, anyways,
I think he just hit it.
He might be in some stuff like, like Jeff Goldblum's and stuff like, came back and kind of was in like,
sure. Yeah.
So he might be in something later on.
The new X-Files spinoff from Brian Coogler. Let's go.
We'll see.
Better take place in the same universe.
We'll see.
I think that's what hurts it. And I also think Amazon mislabeling it as a drama. The description is just a downer and people aren't going to want to watch that.
Well, Prime Video is not really, they don't really care about the movies, I don't think.
But that hurts it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
You're not gonna if you read the description without knowing the movie and you didn't see a trailer first, you would just go, nope, pass.
Well, no, clearly. I mean, but I would want to watch a trailer first.
Yeah, but if it's listed as a comedy, you might be more like, all right, let's see what this is.
Maybe. Yeah. All right, I hear you.
You got any other reasons you think?
No, I agree with you. I think it's a movie. It's not a movie of the time. I wouldn't say that, but I think it's one of those movies that just kind of just gets lost with all the other stuff. But it's a solid film. It's funny. It's cute. It's got a lot of heart, but sometimes a lot of heart doesn't really transcend decades. So, it's just kind of, it doesn't have like you said, like it doesn't have a Julia Roberts in there. It doesn't have a huge star that's going to kind of that blows up and becomes somebody that carries this film with them in their filmography. It's got good leads. It's got good solid actors and good people behind the camera, but sometimes it's just one of those films that just didn't kind of keep going and connect with more people. So I think it's a good film that people can go back to and try to discover and see like, oh, I can't believe I didn't watch this. I think just people that are my age that had seen it and liked it and just like the premise of the show were like, oh, why didn't I never go back and watch that again? So I think it's like one of those type of films. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with everything you're saying.
Sweet.
All right, where they can find us.
Well, before that, I just want to say it's very impressive what Jim Belushi did when he won bowling and he does the backflip. I was like, damn, I couldn't do that.
Jim Belushi.
Anyway, if you like Forgotten Cinema, you can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or anywhere you get your podcast or shows. You're watching, listening to us right now. Why don't you like, rate, subscribe, comment? I noticed Spotify's got comments now. That you can comment anywhere. What's your favorite late 90s, early 2000s romantic comedy? Let us know there. If you like Forgotten Cinema, we've got now showings. We got lead up series. I don't know where we are. I think we're in February, so we probably finished Scream lead up, and now we're on Scream 7, or we also did that. Go check those out. That would be Scream 7 would be a now showing. We've done a bunch of now showings. Check all those out. We got look back series exclusively on Patreon. Join our Patreon for exclusive things, merch discounts, all that kind of good stuff, or just join Patreon for free to keep up with what we're doing. And that's what I got.
Yeah, and then join us next week as I guess the Feel Good train rolls on, as we're going to be doing the 2019 film Yesterday. That'll be our movie next week. Danny Boyle directed film. So we'll be talking about Beatles next week. That's it. So until then, have a great rest of your week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema.